Okay, we'll be watching. Thank you very much, David. Senate Judiciary Committee member John Cornyn questioned Comey at the hearing where he was accused of lying by this grand jury. Senator Cornyn joins me now from Texas. Senator, always good to have you with us. So explain to us how you see this case and how substantial you believe it is.
Well, I don't think we know how it may ultimately develop, but of course, as your report pointed out, he's been indicted on 2 charges. Mm-hmm. Clearly, Director Comey went off the rails because of his antipathy, his hatred really, for Donald Trump, and made a number of decisions, including leaking confidential, maybe classified information through a Columbia law professor. And he at other times essentially admitted to that. And of course, his goal was to get a special counsel appointed, which ultimately happened when Robert Mueller was appointed, and then ensued a 2-year investigation, which ended up with basically nothing to show for it.
Let's play some of the reaction from some in the media to this indictment, which came down late yesterday. Here it is.
President Trump's retribution campaign reached a new and ominous level.
We've crossed the Rubicon. It's a tough day for people who believe in the rule of law.
Republicans are going to say, Jen, well, wait a second, didn't the Biden administration do that? Didn't the FBI go after Donald Trump? That was completely different.
Was it completely different, Senator Cornyn?
Absolutely not. And Director Comey's right. I mean, he's entitled to a trial and the presumption of innocence. But it's clear to me, Martha, that once he was dismissed as FBI director, he was bound and determined to destroy President Donald Trump. And he came close to doing it. But because of the president's incredible resilience under all that pressure, he was ultimately unsuccessful. But I think there needs to be accountability, particularly at the highest levels of law enforcement. The FBI director should be somebody who follows the law under all circumstances, not cutting corners and potentially committing criminal offenses.
So with regard to this specific case, because the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney in Virginia are, sort of putting this whole thing forward, Andy McCarthy's raising questions about whether or not this is a solid case in terms of the particular part of it that the grand jury actually decided to bring these 2 charges on. And as David Spunt pointed out, it actually relates to a leak that was surrounding the Clinton Foundation. And there were assessments in the press at the time that the FBI was going soft on Hillary Clinton in that investigation. And so the pushback that resulted in this alleged leak has to do with that story and whether or not Andrew McCabe tried to push things into the press that would prove that the FBI was being tough enough against Hillary Clinton. And McCabe said that he did this, and then Comey, sort of ostensibly said, yeah, well, that's okay that happened, but didn't actually authorize it. I know that's a lot of detail, but that's part of Andy's assessment of how strong the case actually is. And here's Andy speaking about that. Watch.
The only way that you could convict Comey beyond a reasonable doubt is Comey would have to truly believe that he personally had authorized the leak. He would have to actually have authorized the leak, and then he would have had to know that he was lying when he denied it to the Senate. They're not even going to be able to prove that he authorized the leak because, by all accounts, he didn't. So I don't think this case even gets to trial.
What's your reaction to all that, Senator?
Well, I think bringing up the Hillary Clinton matter, it's important to point out that Director Comey's misdeeds weren't just directed toward Donald Trump. He mistreated Hillary Clinton by exposing derogatory information and against her as a result of her email server. But then ultimately he said, well, no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute this case. You're not supposed to make those sorts of statements and then refuse to go forward and indict the defendant. But my memory is that Director Comey has essentially admitted to what he's been charged for. Leaking documents to a Columbia law professor, a friend of his, so that professor could then give them to the press. And You heard the testimony. You've seen it on your show here just a few minutes ago. He denied it under oath, and that's a crime.
All right, we will see where this goes, and we thank you very much for being here with your thoughts on it, having been on that committee where a lot of this played out. Senator Cornyn, thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha.